Okay, Tommy, it's time. It's actually time. It's only been about 5 years, but here we are, right where we should have started, finally using that POV. I'm just happy we got here, dude. So here's how the program's gonna look like. I printed it out because I'm using my phone right now to do this for you, but it's 3 days a week. I broke each day up into two parts or two sessions. If you were to do them just 3 days in a week, or you could do them 6 days in a week and just do make each part a day. So if you broke them up, so each workout for the day was two workouts, then you'll have six workouts for a week. It will be 30 minutes tops, including the ARP setup, and that leaves you 1 day of rest. So that should be all you need. 30 minutes isn't a lot. You would just be doing all lower body, and you'll be doing all upper body the next day. However, if you start feeling good and you get some more time, you can do it 3 days a week. In that case, again, you just be doing upper and lower body together, which I prefer. It's more complete, but I understand it's not a big deal if you don't have the time. So don't sweat it. And that will take less than an hour as well. So all this stuff is designed to be super easy for you, dude. There's really no excuse to not do this. Just think about it this way. 30 minutes isn't a lot of time. You're going to spend more than 30 minutes uh, just hating yourself in your mind for not working out or taking care of your health. So think about it that way. I know by the time I'm done regretting and procrastinating, it's been long past 30 minutes. I might as well just not think about it and do the damn workout. All right, Tommy, here we are, what, 7 years later, and we made it, and we're actually going to use the POV. You better be excited. I'm excited. This has been a long time coming. I didn't even have to buy it from you. I actually prefer that you're using it. Now we can have some fun together. So I explained the program stuff to you a little bit. I'll recap it for you. It's a 3 day a week program. If you were to do it just 3 days a week, it would be less than an hour each day. That would leave you with 4 off days. However, you'll see on the program, I gave you the option of breaking each of the workout days into 2 days. So you break it into upper and lower body. That would make it a 30-minute workout, 6 days a week. So you'd have one rest day. You can even mix and match those depending on what your schedule is like. If you have enough time to do the whole workout one day, perfect. If you can only get half in one day, no big deal. Just do the other half the other day and just try to think about it the night before, what you have time for. And let's get one thing straight. You have 30 minutes to work out every day. If you can come up with an excuse to not, I'd love to hear it. Anyways, let's get started, my man. So you got your POV. I explained what the program's going to look like. What you're going to need before you get started, and you should always do this first before you strap up the POV, because it would suck if you got to take everything off and go find it. So today, what we're going to use is blocks right here. I know you have them. Get them from Vicky. If you don't have them, you can use chairs. The point is, we're trying to elevate here. Then we're going to need a 3 pound dumbbell. That's right, I know it says 3 to 5. I'm telling you, grab a 3 pound dumbbell. And then two 5 pound dumbbells. I know it says 5 to 10. We're gonna grab fives. I'm doing this workout too. I grab the lighter weights. It's not about the weight, it's more about the speed, the velocity, and the quality of the movement. All right. And then right here, this black thing, that's just a pad for my knees. It's nice to have some type of padding. I might not use that. I might just fold up my mat, but it's all the same. Okay, so now let's get started. If you're using the POV, I'll show you how to get set up on that. If you're not, don't worry about it. You can do the workout without the POV. First comes first. I printed this out because you're using my phone right now to record this. You'll see the first thing it says is pad placement. It'll say black, red for cable 1, and black, red for cable 2. Notice the cords are blue and green. This does not matter which one's on top or bottom. They could both be blue or they could both be green. It doesn't matter. They're just color coded in case that's easier for your mind. And you'll also notice I have stickies. You can use sticky pads or electrodes. The electrodes are the black and red pads that you put the blue or yellow sponges with that you get wet first, very important. That conducts electricity. And you put the sponges underneath the black thing. And once you put it on the spot, you would strap it in with one of these. I'm being lazy for the sake of the video and for the sake of your time. I'm just going to use the stickies and I'm going to put them in the locations. All right, one more thing I want to say. These sticky pads can last a long time or they can wear out pretty fast. So when you're done using them, you take them off, lick your fingers or wet your hands and just get them a little bit wet to put them on and then put them back in and seal the pouch. Also, you'll notice one side says on, with an underline, and one side says no with an underline. Don't put them back on the no side. That's a no-no. Put them back on the on side. These are like 20 bucks each. You could spend $20 a day not taking care of these. It adds up, or you can make them last a week or two. All right? So first we're gonna go with pad placement. Left glute, right side of belly. So cord one, black, left glute. I'm not gonna show you this for the sake of mooning. I don't have a problem mooning you, but if I have to use this for other people, I can't be having that. So this is gonna go black on cable one. Is going on your left glute. So that's right in the middle of your butt cheek, okay? I'm gonna go and put that on. Make sure you have spandex on. If you're using stickies or sponges, it doesn't matter. They won't stay stuck or in position the whole time unless you have spandex or you use straps to lock them in. So I got that smack dab right in the middle of my butt cheek, or pretty damn close without using a mirror. And then I'm gonna take this other one, I'm gonna put it along the right side of my belly. So anytime I say that, think even it up along the right side with your belly button. So this is my belly button. This is even with it. Boom. Now I'm gonna go grab the other cord. Same deal, guys. All right, TB, you take this red on cable two, you put it along the left side of your belly button. Boom. All right. And I suggest, and I'm gonna do this too, because it makes that big of a difference, unless you have like a rash guard or compression shirt to keep it down. Take your strap and make sure those sticky pads don't move around, or the electrodes. If you're using electrodes, it does not matter. For the record, it's better to use the electrodes. It conducts more electricity, it feels smoother, all around better. This is the lazy man way. Using sticky pads is also a little more expensive, but you know, it's all right to be lazy sometimes. At least we're doing our workout. That's what really matters here. All right, cool. And then take that last black pad, put it on your right butt cheek. Make sure it's even with the left side. In case you didn't figure this out as we were doing it. Cable one, black left glute, red right side of belly button. Cable two, black right glute, red left side of belly button. So they're crossed. The cords are crossed. That's right. That wasn't an accident. That's on purpose. Just make sure they're straight. They're going to move around a little bit during the workout or as you sweat. It's not a big deal. Just slap your booty every once in a while, give it a little of that, make sure they're staying sticky or nothing's moving around. You'll know if they do too, because you'll get a different sensation in the pad. It will feel like more like pins and needle, like sharper. And that normally just means the stickies coming loose, the cords coming unplugged, or the electrodes are moving away from the sponges, or maybe the sponges need to be wet again. But normally they'll stay wet enough for the entire workout so don't sweat. And now let's take your POV or your RX and turn it on. You'll notice it's going to charge up here. I'll come over and just show you guys. See? So the first thing we're going to do is go to timer. We're going to put an hour on it. Why? Because this workout's not going to take longer than an hour. If it did, you're resting too long and you're just procrastinating. Just do the damn thing. 1 hour. Unless you're breaking it up into parts, then 30 minutes. The pulse frequency will stay at 245. The polarity will stay at normal. The duty cycle will stay exactly where it is. And the balance will stay exactly where it is. So you're already ready to go if the pads are in place, and it looks like this. Now we're actually going to start working out. Just for the record, this part takes about 5 minutes to set the ARP on. Just use this as your warm-up time to get your mind right. Don't even think about anything until you're strapped in. Then you can let the realization that you're about to work out hit you. All right, first thing we're gonna do is turn the ARP up. You'll notice I said on the paper, max tolerance before discomfort or compensation. So it shouldn't be painful and it shouldn't make you compensate. It shouldn't make you do unnatural movements. Think of compensation, I sprain my ankle, then I start limping to avoid the ankle pain. You'll notice the ARP can get pretty intense. It'll make you contract certain muscles harder than others. The idea is it's forcing you to use those other muscles, which is why it's difficult in the beginning. Then eventually you get used to it and it gets easier, and you'll notice you'll be turning the ARP up constantly throughout the workout as you get used to it. Because just because, say, you get it to 30 right away. By the end of the workout, you might have it at 100 because your body will get used to it. And if you don't have it at 100, don't sweat it. Just remember, no compensation, and it doesn't need to be painful. But the more you can take, the better, as long as you're not compensating. So I'm going to just hit start now. So now the time's running, right? Counting down from an hour. I'm going to push the knob in. When you push the knob in, it highlights. So I hit start, push the knob in. You'll notice the number highlights, and you can turn it up now. So now I'm turning it up. Again, this is as high as you can take it until it makes your body do weird things. So I'm at 35 now. I've been RPing a lot, so I'm gonna end up going to 100. But you'll notice when I go to 100, I'm not compensating. Everything is normal. My walk is a little weird right now while I get used to it, but that's okay. The first exercise we're gonna do is a lunge press. So grab 2 5-pound dumbbells or 2 things that weigh about 5 pounds if you don't have dumbbells. All right, we got 10 sets of 4 reps lunge press. You're gonna do all one leg. Let's go right leg forward. All 10 sets of 4 reps, and then you're gonna do all the left side. 30 seconds rest between each set, okay? We're gonna do that with 5-pound dumbbells or 5-pound weights, whatever you can find, like I just mentioned. Right leg forward. Let's talk about the form. Actually, I'm gonna show you what it looks like real quick in case you already know and you wanna start. 4, boom, 10 times, get it? 30 seconds rest, and then we'll do the other side. All right, now I'm gonna talk about the form. So when you get into that lunge, there's 2 ways to get into it. You can step your leg all the way back, long as a stride as you possibly can. Long of a stride while keeping this leg at 90, aka your knee stacked over your ankle. We don't ever want it coming back, and we definitely don't ever want it coming forward. There's very few times we'll do that, and if we do, I'll let you know specifically and hone in. We're breaking form for a specific reason I'll explain. So here I am in the lunge. You know what this front leg is doing. It's at 90. It's stacked over the ankle. You're driving the ball of your foot straight into the ground. Once you do that, it's all right if you want to drive the rest of your foot in the ground. Most important that you're pressing the ball of the foot in the ground. And try to leg curl. Feel this front hamstring. So you're pressing it in and you're pulling it back. Like you're trying to do a leg curl with it, okay? You'll feel your hamstring engage. And then that back leg, you're trying to get straight. I know mine's slightly bent. It's really hard to get straight. I'm trying to push my heel back and then the ball of my foot down. And you notice when I do that, it makes my quad contract on my bottom leg, which also helps straighten it. Now from there, one of the most important parts, you can do this in all your exercises, squeeze your back glute. That'll push your hips forward. You'll feel your hip flexor and your quad lengthen in that back leg. Just make sure it doesn't come out and you keep pressing back and down. And then draw your abs in. So exhale through your nose. You're always breathing in and out through your nose. Draw your belly button in and the rest of your abs in. Then hug your ribs in. You'll notice that comes next. Keep all that in together. You'll notice that keeps your spine straight. Your core is solid. So now we got the front leg working, the back leg working, the core working. Now we're gonna grab those weights. I'm gonna switch legs. I'm getting tired holding that lunge. Whew. And now we're gonna bring in the upper body part. Let me just explain what this is gonna look like separately. Always, when you're doing upper body, pull your shoulder blades down your back using your lats and your scapulars or your back muscles if that helps. What does that look like? Looks like this. So if I'm just being lazy, see my arms are like that, they're kind of hanging forward. Well, now I'm gonna pull my shoulder blades down using my back muscles. Boom. Now my arms are centered. You'll notice my chest went from that to proud chest, big chest, and then you have to hug in your abs. Keep your glutes squeezed, keep all this in. You'll feel your abs working more, and you'll have to keep your shoulders pulled down more, a bigger chest, because what we don't want, we never want our shoulders shrugging up. Ever, we never want them coming forward. Always, boom, proper form. Arms are at that angle. We don't walk around like this, okay? That's what it's gonna look like. So when we press up, keep thinking, shoulders down, pulling shoulders down. You're pressing up with your shoulders, then you're pulling down with your lats. So Now I'm going to show you what an actual rep looks like with the left leg forward. Remember, 10 sets, 4 reps, so it'll look like this. Boom. If your balance is good and that's easy, feel free to go up to 10-pound dumbbells each hand. All right? 10 sets each side. All right, isometric, extreme, hamstring. So this is not a stretch. This is an exercise for your hamstrings. I know it's not as hard as some of them, but until you have a glute ham machine, this is the best option we have to strengthen and lengthen your hamstrings. Here's what it's going to look like. We have 8 sets of 30 seconds hold for 30 seconds. So holding is at the bottom position, which will be down here. We're going to rest for 30 seconds in between, 8 times. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then I'll explain the form. All right, so I'm going to explain the form of it. The first thing you'll notice is with my feet. I always say keep them 6 to 10 inches apart. If you're confused on what that means, you line up your pinky toes with the outside of your hips, not your big toes with the outside of your hips. It should feel like it's too narrow. If it doesn't, then you're doing it wrong, because I know you've been doing them too wide your entire life. So it should definitely feel too narrow. All right? Our feet, 6 to 10 inches, 6 inches for the sake of argument, because you're going to exaggerate. Especially guys, you all think 6 inches is bigger than it actually is, but it ain't. I'm sorry to break it to you. So bring your heels in. Like I said, I like them 6 inches, but here we'll keep the toes 6 inches. We'll bring the heels to 2. Why? This just helps align your ACLs and all these knee ligaments a little bit better for the sake of stretching your hamstring. It's the only time I'll ever cue moving in like this. So the first move I make is you never lock your leg. So here's a locked leg. Here's a slight bend. Locked leg, slight bend. Not a big, kind of hard to tell, but you'll notice this makes your quads engage. This makes your hamstrings and glutes engage and lengthen. You'll notice the difference. And the first thing I do, the slight bend, is push my butt back towards the wall. Anterior tilt. So posterior tilt would be tucking your tailbone under. Anterior tilt would be Beyonce booty, tucking your tailbone out. Posterior, anterior. Posterior, anterior, right? So we're doing an anterior tilt. Beyonce booty. Pop that ass, push it back towards the wall. Let your weight go onto your heels so much that you almost want to fall back. You got to press your feet back in. You can even grip your toes in, but you're still pushing your weight back. You're pushing your glutes to the rear, your butt towards the wall. Then you exhale all your breath out of your nose. You'll let your core draw in as tight as possible. You try to get your chest to your thighs. You create a lot of compression here. You're going to keep pushing back. You should feel your hamstrings engaged and lengthened as well as your glutes. If you don't, then you're not doing it right. You need to come up and find that feeling. So now exhale your breath, tuck your chin, cross your arms at your elbows, and relax and sink lower. Each inhale, find a little length up, and exhale, find more range down. You can do that for 30 seconds. You can bend your knees and roll up like I just did. That's nice and easy. That way you won't get hurt. And remember, 30 seconds rest. We're going for 8 sets. Like I just mentioned, wall squat. Here's what it looks like. And now I'm going to explain it to you. First, I'm going to take off my socks. Why? Because it's a lot harder on hardwood floor with your socks. So if these are easy for you, then I would say throw on some socks. But it's the first day of the programming, so screw the socks. Not trying to go pro on anything here, just life. Just like I mentioned on the lunge press, I said the front leg has to be at 90, knees have to be stacked over your ankle. Same thing, but for both legs, all right? Also the same cues for your front leg for both legs in the squat. That means press the balls of your feet in the ground and pull yourself lower with your hamstrings. You're not just lowering like that. You're pulling lower by doing a hamstring curl down with your hamstrings, all right? And the only way you can do that is by pressing the balls of your feet in the ground, trying to do that leg curl. So you'll notice when you do pull down, you should be at 90 degrees, knees stacked over your ankles. If you're like this and you're pushing back into the wall, you're cheating. I'm calling you out right now. This is easy. I'm just pushing into the wall. By the way, you don't run forward by pushing backwards. So that's doesn't even mechanically make sense. You're going to get hurt. Don't do that. It's all right if it's too hard to do 30 seconds and you're failing. We're still doing 30 seconds. If you fail before the 30, Take a deep breath, pause the time, get back up and finish that 30, baby. It doesn't count until you've done a full 30. It's not a hard workout-ish. I know you can do it. Okay, pull down with your hamstrings. I'm drawing my core in so hard that it's pushing my back flat against the wall. Everything should be against the wall. From here, lift your arms out in front of you, pull your shoulder blades down your back so you have a proud chest, then you wrap your triceps like that, and the eyes of your elbows point up. That's just proper upper body form. This will also help you balance, constantly pushing the balls of your feet in the ground and leg curling. Holding at this bottom position for 30 seconds. How do you know if you're failing when you're done? If your butt hits the ground or if your back comes off the wall. Then you're done. You need to stop, even if the time's not done, because your form just went down the drain. And form is the most important. So we just finished lower body for day one. That was part one. We're about to start part two, upper body for day one. So if you're pressed for time, you need to go, now's the time. You can finish this later today or tomorrow. If not, if you have 20 to 30 minutes, let's just finish it now while we're doing it. It's going to be a lot easier to get it over with now. Yeah, I said get it over with. Not everybody likes to work out, and sure as hell not every day. So here's what we're going to do. You'll notice that I offered rebound reps or quick style reps. I'll explain both. First, 1 to 3 pound dumbbell. It is actually the lighter, it can be a lot more challenging. Just don't think the weight matters. It's about the speed and the velocity and the quality of the rep that make these challenging and give you the benefits that you're working out for. Here's what it's going to look like. If you're doing that rebound rep, take your pad. This is not as advanced as you think. You can all do this. My mom does these, all right? Just to put that in perspective. The pad is just in case we're learning, you drop it and it doesn't hit your foot and like break a bone or something. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Everybody drops it, including me. If you're not falling or dropping, you're really not trying that hard, because the idea is we're doing a front. Let me check. We're doing first exercise is a rebound front delt raise with a dumbbell. And I'm going to show you the rebound version and the quick style rep. So quick style is easy. Front delt raise is simply like that. If you're going to do a quick style rep, it's always a brief pause at the top and a brief pause at the bottom. They're explosive reps, so look like this. That's what a quick style rep looks like. Here's what a rebound rep looks like. You drop it, you let it fall as far as you can, you go down and chase it. As soon as you grab it, you explode back up. Absolutely no pause time. Turn on and off your muscles as quickly and aggressively as possible. So it'll look like this. I'm letting it drop. I think I'm letting it drop for as long as I can until I feel like I don't have enough time to just barely grab it and explode back up. When I go down, I'm pulling down using my lat. When I go up, I'm using my delt, my shoulder muscle to pull up. Also, just like I mentioned in the lunge press and what we do in every upper body exercise, draw your abs in, and hug your core in, squeeze your glutes so they tuck under posterior tilt. Now, my spine is lengthened and engaged. Press the balls of your feet in the ground. You should be standing here solid. Now you just pull your shoulder blades down your back, proud chest, arms are forward. Shoulder never comes up or forward, it stays in position the whole time for your workout. That's what it's gonna look like. And here's the methodic, okay? So like I said, the front delt raise. If you're doing the rebound reps, which I highly recommend just to try, what we're gonna do is we have 1 rep every 5 seconds for 3 minutes. So during that 3 minutes while you're waiting, you're holding at the top the whole time. So it's a 3-minute isometric hold with 1 rep every 5 seconds. So here's what it'll look like. Pretend I just started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going 8, 9, 10. Still going every 5 and say I'm on 15. I'm going to repeat that all the way up until 3 minutes. Yes, you're going to get really tired holding it up here, and the reps are going to get harder. If you get to the point where you can't hold it, pause the time, take a few deep breaths, and get right back into it. Do all one side, then switch sides. Boom. Then we're going to come on to the next upper body exercise. I should have mentioned on the last one, if you are doing the rebounds and maybe you're dropping the weight a lot, or you don't even need to be using weight, you could be using a water bottle like a Yeti or whatever works around your house. Sometimes I use a cell phone tripod stand to drop and catch, because again, it's not about the weight. I know my Yeti weighs 2.5 pounds, and I know my tripod thing weighs 1 pound. So those work as weights too. You can also do them from your knees if you're making all that noise dropping the weights. Just make sure you're still posterior tilt, tucking your glutes under, drawing your abs in, and hugging your ribs in. Keep that core engaged. Crown of the head pointing up, tuck the chin, pull your shoulder blades down your back, keep solid, okay? Knees are standing, same rules apply, but we're gonna come into the next exercise, same methodic. We can go right leg or left leg forward, it doesn't matter, but we're doing bent over dumbbell row, okay? Here, a good weight to grab, I think I have it at 3 to 10 pounds. I'm gonna suggest the 5 on this, but I'm also good with the 3, okay? None of you need to grab 5, it's the first day. So rebound bent over row, same thing. 3-minute isometric at the top, every 5 seconds, rebound rep. So pretend I just started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep in mind, I'm doing this on a running clock, so it actually uses the ARP time. And every time I hit 5 on that, I do a rep. Same thing on these reps. Same thing with your upper body. Pulling the shoulder blade down the back. Lunge form's the same. Front leg at 90, pointing the ground with that hamstring. Back leg, you're trying to straight. The only difference is you'll notice my back leg is at a 45-degree angle. That's the only difference. We're still trying to square our hips forward. Squeeze this glute, let it roll under. Just rest the arm there. And then from here, pull the shoulder blade down the back. You pull up with your lat, and you chase down with your chest. So up with your lat, down with the chest. Lat on the way up, chest on the way down, lat on the way up. If you learn how to turn those muscles on and off quickly and appropriately, the rep's gonna have a lot more quality. It's gonna feel a lot better, and all the magic's gonna happen. Don't forget to switch sides. Same thing, same trend. 3 minutes at the top, 1 rebound rep every 5 seconds, unless you're doing quick style reps. Grab your padding again. You can do this standing or from your knees. Exact same rules apply when we did the front belt raise, but this time it's an upright row. So pulling your shoulder blades down your back, pressing the balls of your feet in the ground. So you're pulling in the ground with your hamstrings and glutes. That means you're squeezing your glutes. Posterior tilt, meaning it's tucking under, hugging, drawing your core in, hugging the ribs in, pulling shoulder blades down your back. From here, remember, because we're pulling down our back with our shoulder blades, our chest is big. When we lift our shoulder up for that upright row, because that's what we have, is an upright row. Again, 3 pounds, 1 to 3 pounds. It's most important that the shoulder doesn't shrug up like that. You'll know it will want to. Think lifting up from your elbow, boom, just like that. You'll also notice my elbow and my wrist are in line, just like you want your knees stacked over your ankles. We want a 90-degree angle right here. I understand it's hard to get it down like that. It makes your shoulder want to come forward. So keep pulling it back, and it's all right with your arms out a little bit like mine. Not everybody's as flexible in the shoulder as they want to be right now, but we will be. So let's switch sides for the sake of this. At the top, everything's in position, core, legs, driving in the ground, pulling up with that elbow. Keep pulling that shoulder blade down so my shoulder doesn't come up. Every 5 seconds, we just put the arm right here. Every 5 seconds for 3 minutes. 1. Let it go down as far as you can. Go down and chase it, grab it, and pull it back up. Similar muscles to when you did the front raise. You'll notice when you chase down, right here, and you notice when you pull up, you use more shoulder muscles. All right? Perfect. That's actually the workout for the day. So pause it, finish it, and then when you are done, I want you to lie down on the mat. Look, if you do yoga, awesome. You can call it Shavasana. It really doesn't matter. This isn't a yoga thing. This is just a thing in general for fitness. You want to, when you lie down, if you worked out for an hour, then you want to lie down for about 5 to 7 minutes. And you want to bring your body temperature down back to where it was before you started. You want to bring your breath back down to where it was before you started. So you can do that seated, like a meditation, or you can just do that lying, chilling on the ground like this. If you're tight, you can even like bend your legs, cross your arms, like there's no rhyme or reason. Just relax, close your eyes, steady your breath. 5 minutes. And then when that's up, you have exactly 15 minutes left to ingest around 15 grams of protein. Whether you're going to eat it or drink it in a protein shake, it doesn't matter. But once that 15 minutes is up, you've missed your window for your body to use its nutrients for its workout. which basically means you just wasted half your workout. And we don't want to do that. So just have something ready. If you weren't prepared this time, just remember for the next time. All right. Good job today. If you had the second part, good job on breaking them up and getting them both done. And we'll catch you on day 2.